Good afternoon, good morning, hello, wherever you are in America or around the world. We want to thank you for watching in, stopping by for a campaign update. My name is Feena and I'm running for U.S. Senate out of Florida. And we have here my co-host,
Mike Scott, one word, all caps, running for Senate, U.S. Senate in the great state of Maryland. I'm a little off this morning because my morning started different. So, don't mind me if it takes a second to catch up. How are you this morning? How was your weekend?
Different in a good way, though, right?
Oh, yeah. It's been interesting. I mean, and I got coffee from PJ's down the road.
I got coffee, but I'm telling you, this coffee does not have enough coffee in it. It's one of those blends I got from my good friend from Crestview. It's a blend of cacao and chai and a little bit of coffee. And I'm here. I'm with it. I'm drinking the coffee. We're doing the thing.
I usually get the Americano, and she shaded me this morning. She said almost anything is better than the Americano. So I got the medium blend. It's actually better than the Americano.
I'm more of a cappuccino person. I like a nice, just straight cappuccino.
I used to have it so that the spoon could stand.
Well, let me get right into Liberty on the Road, folks. This weekend we had a pool party and had some folks show up. We had Ken Mattis come in from Chicago. We also had the folks from Duval, some folks from Orlando come out. This was almost a bad picture, but it turned out really great. So this is the ladies that showed up, and that lady down front, in the very front, I need to wish her a very happy birthday because today is her birthday. So happy birthday, Bella. Happy birthday to you. Here's some more pictures from the pool party this weekend. A good friend of mine that I haven't seen in over 10 years showed up. And that's the guy in white right there. Craig Grit. Oh my gosh, can I speak? Craig Genrick, who I was in the Navy with. And we used to tear it up, man. He had the same job as I did in the military. And so we were stationed at the same time in Dahlgren, Virginia, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Washington, D.C. And we used to go to D.C. and we were laughing this weekend about, like, oh my gosh, all the crazy things we used to do out there in D.C. And we were kind of infamous a little bit. I mean, as all sailors are in any big town, going out. And I was like, gosh, I hope they don't remember me.
Wait, are you saying that sailors and young military folks make questionable decisions when they're out and running around in a big city, given freedom?
Yeah, we raised the ruckus. Absolutely.
Never happened.
And I do have one more thing I want to show. I want to show one more thing. And this is just kind of, I know I've shown the long version uncut and just clean. However, I think 3 weeks ago I showed it on the on here from the VFW when I went out there and spoke. And this is like what you can do. You find these moments where you're out there and you got the microphone, you can speak, cut it up and make a commercial. So I'm going to show this for you guys right now. I'm Feena Benoit, and I approve this message. Here for allowing me a moment to speak. I am running for U.S. Senate to represent you, the people of Florida, in the U.S. Congress. And I honestly cannot think of anything better to send the U.S. Senate right now than a libertarian, native-born, Florida veteran, patriotic woman to serve in the U.S. Senate, someone that's going to put the people's priorities ahead of any political party's needs.
a little bit about me. I was born here in Florida, in Sarasota. I've got a lot of family that was born and raised here in Florida, and I spent 10 years in the Navy. In those years, I was a computer programmer for the weapons system. I was also a community relations coordinator. I've been around the world. And you know what I see? I see the same problems everywhere. I see that there's good people that they want to help and they want to do good. They want to help. But the way that they're going about it, you're missing the most precious part of our country, of our future, and that's our children. So I've been working my entire life to run for office, to serve the people. I grew up very poor. My mother was a waitress. She made $2.13 an hour. And she was denied food stamps with 3 kids, single mother, denied food stamps because she smoked marijuana. That's a problem. That's punishing our children. I also watch the injustices of the criminal justice system as they punish the poor and force them into and coerce them into plea bargaining system. And folks, I'm a libertarian, so I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. And I understand the purpose of our Constitution, of our Congress, of our government is the criminal justice system. And I hear so many of you folks over here that are very passionate about your community and the criminal justice system. I do have experience in that in addition to watching it firsthand from my family. I was also a prison guard in the military, where I watched people plead their lives away to avoid a more heinous punishment, and that's wrong. And we also see all the time in the news where someone gets off on a plea bargain that should be in jail. They should be in jail, and they're not. They get probation. You got someone that has done physical violence to someone, you're going to see them at the grocery store next week. That is wrong, my friend. That is wrong. Innocent people and victims, we deserve retribution, and criminals deserve punishment. Now, what does it mean to have a libertarian in office? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means prosperity. Because we believe in free and open markets. We believe in maximum freedom and limited government. We believe in the least amount of taxation possible. In fact, we're the only party that still says taxation is theft. I want to share with you one final thought. It's a mantra from my campaign that I've been using. Imagine. Imagine if we had the same enthusiasm for building rockets to go to outer space as we do for rockets with warheads on them to send to foreign countries. From the moment we first learned of our sun's demise, our star, we had a moral obligation to our future generations to work together to find a way to escape this peril. And it's bigger than one person. It's bigger than one generation. It's going to take a long time. But if we all do what we can, when we can, together, we can save the future of humanity. Once again, my name is Feena Benoan, and I am running for U.S. Senate. Thank you.
All right. So I don't want to be a gatekeeper. I don't want to hold secrets. How I created that, I took the video that my husband made from the audience. Funny story. You hear it in the audio. You hear like this, like that. And as I'm watching it and rewatching it over and over, I'm realizing I went way over my time. and it's funny because when I get up on stage, I'm kind of used to going up on stage from my acting experience that I have. So I kind of go into a little bit of a character. And it's funny because as I was editing this video, I was watching and listening, and I could hear when someone would, stomp or something, like, come on, hurry up, right? And it's funny because I would stomp back. I would hit the podium back. Not
So
getting
you
me
weren't
off yet.
taking hints to let it go, to speed it up.
So, but I took the video. I added some audio to it. I decided to go with a Latin guitar because I liked what I was wearing was very tropical. I had the white hat, very Miami, and Miami is in Florida. There's a lot of palms around me, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go with this Miami vibe. And so I went with the Latin guitar, put it on the bottom because it helps the flow of things. People will be more receptive to what you're saying if you've got a little bit of a soundtrack at the bottom. When you're in film, you learn that music is what carries the emotion. Music dictates the emotion of what you're seeing, right? So I wanted to be kind of like a little bit upbeat, but there were definitely some times where they were more serious, that I had a little bit more of a serious guitar too. And then everything else was just plug and play of these graphics that I've created throughout the campaign already. So yeah, make your own videos. Everyone that's been on this show has been given 2-minute clips already cut for them by AI. Every single guest on the show. After the show, it usually takes me about towards the evening time frame to get the clips together and up on the shared drive. But every single candidate they have access to these little 2-minute clips that they can cut, they can reuse, they can put out on their social media, and that's one of the things that I've wanted to give back to candidates. So anyways, today we're talking about the environment and energy. So Mike, what do you
No, I got okay, where do we start on environment and energy? Part of the thing I always say when I come into this thing is that I will make decisions that are best for Americans and America in general. When we were coming back over from World War II, they dumped a bunch of Jeeps and stuff in the ocean on the way back, because part of the way America, and I know how are we going to get to energy. I'm that guy on the meme that goes, it's all connected, look, and I got to tie it all back together. But what we do is we put those things in the drink because we didn't want all those Jeeps to be there and available, and people wouldn't buy cars on the economy. They'd buy Jeeps. We were trying not to hurt the American market. That's kind of how we do a lot of things in our government. We go out of our way not to harm the market. Because if you look at it, and the reason I said it is because COVID was actually good, and I got to go through and find these because we added a few things. COVID was actually a little bit good for the environment. Now, it was bad because we actually used a bunch of plastics, had a bunch of medical waste and stuff come through, but the air quality actually went up. We actually improved our air quality because we didn't have so many cars running around. And that's the thing. We do things, instead of doing things best for the earth or best for us, because public transportation is better for us in general. Because public transportation and everybody driving individual cars, it's not great for the environment. They were over in, was it Oklahoma City? And they were going to do a strike. I believe it was Oklahoma City. And these guys did a little thing because they had information from before the strike and during the strike. And it turns out it was an 11 to 33% spike in ozone from everybody driving cars instead of going by viable public transportation. It improves healthcare to have viable public transportation. That's only one thing for the environment. Another thing for the environment is, well, how did we get here as far as nuclear power goes? And again, this is all disconnected, but it's all showing a pattern of behavior. We make decisions. In this case, with nuclear power, Jimmy Carter didn't want nuclear fuel proliferated, sent to other places, and he didn't want it reused. So now we have a problem with storage of nuclear fuel. I think 92 plants or something like that, or was it 52, provides about a quarter of the energy that we use in the United States. Nuclear power is cleaner, more efficient, and we need to actually start using renewable fuels so that we don't have the problems we have right now with storage. We make business decisions in America instead of doing things that are best for the environment or for the people. What's best for the people in a city? Viable public transportation. What's best for the environment in a city? Viable public transportation. What is best for the coffers of a city? Being able to get tickets, being able to get registration, having people apply for licenses, gas tax, etc., etc. We have a habit of, as a people, of destroying the environment to prop up our industries. And it's because we're short-sighted. Did all that make sense, or was that way too rambling to come together?
I think it makes sense for me. I kind of want to share a little story because you did bring it up about how the military spends money in trying to do the right thing with the environment.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the Navy, and there's certain rules that you can dump trash over the side of the ship, right? Especially food trash. There'll be fish following us for miles. After a certain amount of nautical miles, you can dump trash over the side, different types of trash, but never plastic. And so we have to do something special with that plastic trash. And on my first ship, we went around Central America and South America, and we were off the coast of Haiti. And to me, when I see a whole lot of jellyfish in the water, I know the water is not very clean to get into, because the jellyfish eat the bacteria, jellyfish eat the debris. They kind of clean the water. They're cleaning the water. And so if you see a whole bunch of jellyfish, that water needs cleaning. And anyway, so we paid the country of Haiti $1 million to take our trash from that ship. Mm-hmm. And we literally watched the trash barge come, take our ship, our trash, and take it off. Maybe you could see the ship still. You could see the trash barge, and they were just throwing it off into the ocean. So we paid the country of Haiti $1 million to do something we could have done ourselves for free.
But we wouldn't have done that. That's the thing. We wouldn't have done it because it's not the right thing to do. We have islands of plastic floating around the freaking oceans because, I mean, and everything, even this is paper, but the top is plastic. This will never be used for anything else. This will be thrown away. It won't be recycled, and it'll be put somewhere.
So I had a lady that was my friend Craig's girlfriend that came to the pool party, and she's learning a little bit about the Libertarian Party while she's there, and she's concerned about the environment and specifically about plastics. And I hate plastics. I really do hate plastics. And let me explain in a way that I was explained to from another libertarian, a libertarian economist, that he knew that I hated plastics. He knew that I love the environment. And there just wasn't a good way to explain like a good plan. Libertarians didn't have a good environmental stance. So let me tell you what it is. I'm going to give you the end zone first. It's bring our troops home and end the foreign wars. But let me tell you how you get there, right?
So wait. You're going to draw the line from plastics and hating plastic to bring our troops home.
Yes.
Give me that line. I want to hear that line.
So how is it that a single pack of ketchup is free? A plastic packet of ketchup is free. Everything else in the world that is very durable and lasts a long time, it's expensive. It is expensive, right? We're talking diamonds, we're talking steel, we're talking, these other forms that we make and we discover and we use in the environment that are very, very expensive items. But plastic, something that lasts forever, is used in everyday life everywhere, is so cheap. Why is it so cheap? Well, I'll tell you why it's so cheap, because it's made out of petroleum, oil. But why is oil so cheap? It's not. It's not. We aren't paying the true price of oil. We subsidize the security. We subsidize the procurement of oil and petroleum-based products through war. Through war. And so whenever I see a free packet of ketchup, I don't necessarily think, gosh, this is the American dream, a free packet of plastic ketchup. No, I look at it as someone died for this.
I look at it the same way as anything else. That free packet of ketchup, once you're done with the tomato jelly inside, the tomato puree, once you're done with that crap, that little thing lasts forever. And that is, you know, those billions and billions served from McDonald's? Imagine every one of those billions and billions served is one little thing. And it just goes in a big pile. And if you've ever seen a billion of anything, God dang it, that's a lot of junk. And that stays on the earth forever. It literally goes nowhere. And that's what people don't get about waste.
Oh, it does go somewhere. It goes somewhere. And when I got here to Florida and needed to do some pruning of my yard, it was a big undertaking. We got a U-Haul truck to throw in all the scraps of the overgrown bushes and everything, and we were going to take it to the dump. And this is the first time that I've been to the dump in Florida. I was used to going to the dump out in Hawaii, where you've got a bin for greens, a bin for wood products, a bin for metal, a bin for just household garbage. And then separately, you have your appliances off to the side. And here, it was not like that at all. I drove up this switchback of a mountainous hill, and on the way up, every switchback, there was a sign that says only one person out of your vehicle at a time. Very important, very dangerous. One person out at a time. We're driving up this hill of trash. And we get to the top, and I see why it's so important that only one person's out of the vehicle at a time. And that's because one person looks like everything else out there, like trash. Just as far as the eye can see, trash. And I will never get that visual out of my mind. I will never get the expansiveness of that trash heap out of my mind. I can't. I think about it. I go to sleep, and sometimes I dream about it even, because the ground was moving. And you spoke a little bit about COVID earlier. COVID, one of the big things that was like, oh my gosh, we have to clean in COVID. Like we have to close down our store and stay open 2 hours later to clean. They should have been cleaning like that before. That, to me, that was kind of gross. And a landfill like that, it is a cesspool of petulism. It's a cesspool of decay and just grossness.
I had a different view. We went to the landfill, me and my little brother. We were dropping off some crap after cleaning the garage. We drove his van up again, switchbacks, top of this mountain. And this was in Maryland, and it was gorgeous. We get to the top of the mountain, and there's all this trash, but it was like an aviary. Every type of bird. They had bald eagles, vultures, all sorts of seagulls of different types. I mean, it was thousands of birds all over the place, because this, I guess it wasn't supposed to be plastic waste too, or I guess it was. I don't know, but they literally make a mountain out of it, seed it, let it process and grow, and then they cover it with grass, and then they move the landfill somewhere else. So it's very green.
Well, and I've seen that too in Virginia, where I was stationed in Norfolk. They have what's called Trash Mountain Park.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice park. A lot of people take their kids there. So that's reusing the land. But also here in Florida, there's a lot of places that they just build housing developments over these old landfills, and it contaminates the water. It seeps into the soil, and you breathe it in. Like, it will eventually breathe in, because it's decaying material, right? And then also part of that, it creates sinkholes because this decaying material that breaks down releases gas. The gas is taking up space, and then it creates a void.
Somebody told me they built Reagan National Airport on a landfill. Reagan National.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't either. But I know Page Manor out in Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton. They have to rebuild it and tear it down and rebuild it every once in a while because I don't know if waste comes up or it's toxic or it's gas or whatever. But every once in a while, they just tear it down, build it up again. And
the first restaurant I worked at as a waitress was called Buffalo Southwest Cafe. That became very famous because it wasn't, I don't think it was their opening. They'd been open for like maybe 2-3 months, and a sinkhole happened at the restaurant. And one of the customers had just bought a brand new cherry red Corvette, and the sinkhole ate that cherry red Corvette open. Closed the restaurant and everything for about 2-3 years, and then they reopened. And that's when I worked at it, is when they reopened, and we made it a joke and everything. But yeah, it was on old landfill land, and maybe 2-3 years after they reopened, business kind of sucked because everybody was afraid to go there. And rightfully so, because another sinkhole happened. Another sinkhole happened. Same place.
Yeah. Those things are scary. They take you down. And again, I have another reason to hate plastic. I had to go find this. I was trying to get it up, so to speak, by the time you were talking about how much you hated plastics. I really hate plastics. I mean,
testicles.
That's everywhere. So Matt Johnson is supposed to come on. What time is he supposed to come?
He's supposed to be on like 15 minutes ago. But
what about 15 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Oh, then I can talk about
We're here.
I can talk about what I did this weekend a little bit.
Yeah.
Arts for Everybody. All right. That was a 17 or 18 city thing where they put it together, and it was the I guess blending of art and health. And the person that invited me, I'm kind of fangirling over her, but it's a group. Khadijah Ali Coleman leads it, but it's called Liberated Muse.
Mm-hmm.
And Liberated Muse is a group, and they do poetry. I got to the thing late. I went to it for 2 reasons, really. One was to see Liberated Muse, and I got to it a little bit late, so I didn't get to see them. I saw the very end of it where one of them was doing a Maya Angelou poem, right?
Mm. Which one?
Phenomenal.
Ooh, I like Phenomenal.
Like Phenomenal Woman. It was sexy. I got part of it on tape. It was a lovely poem.
It is a lovely poem.
But I like the message of it too, because they say art is for everybody. But while I was there, I made sure to represent libertarians. So
that's good.
Vote libertarian across the top. I was trying to get good pictures, but people kept running around in the background. So if we're talking environment, we also have to talk about what they're putting into our soil. Right?
Yes.
They're putting it into our soil, Roundup. 80% of people, children and adults, have this stuff in us, the glyphosate. And I believe glyphosate is a antibiotic, right? So it puts a bunch of nitrogen into the soil and lets you grow food, but it doesn't really make it very good for you. And it's been tied to a whole mess of lawsuits and stuff, people with lymphoma and all sorts of. I don't like using the stuff, but it turns out in 2023, they're talking about pulling it from shelves, but that's only for civilian use, i.e. for me and you and the people that are running around. The big farms can still continue to use this stuff. And I heard some note that we were never going to be able, it would take like 50 years before the world starts recovering from pumping this poison into the ground. And we are literally still pumping this poison into the ground every day. We have a lot of issues in America, and a lot of it is environment. That's one of my pinnacles on my thing. I got healthcare, equity, education, economy, and environment. My platform is called He Jokes. I love that joke. Stop it. I'm going to tell that every time. But environment, if we don't stop poisoning the world, I really think that should go with the non-aggression principle in libertarians. If we find people poisoning the world and legitimately filling my balls with plastics and filling my body with glyphosate, I don't know at what point we can make the case for holding these companies responsible for continuing to poison the world. I think there's a case for that with the non-aggression principle. But again, this is something that I don't necessarily want the government to enforce my opinion, because that's something both the left and the right agree upon. They want the government to ban and enforce their opinions. I don't necessarily want that. What I want is a safe environment for myself and my children to grow and be happy without worrying about the things that I'm eating and drinking poisoning us. And right now,
I don't understand, and I just don't. I guess maybe I don't get it, or maybe this is part of the plan. But why aren't the companies that are producing the plastic, producing the packaging, producing the styrofoam, why aren't they responsible for that after we purchase it? Like when I go to buy a bottle of water, if I buy a bottle of water, I don't want the plastic cap. I don't want the plastic bottle. I don't want the plastic tape that comes around the bottle that says your brand. I just want the water.
We used to recycle.
Yeah, we used
to pay a couple extra bucks for the glass and you get it back when you took it back and they reuse it. But that was too expensive. Everybody's going after cheap. Plastic is cheaper than washing the glass, making sure it's good, and recapping it. It's just cheaper. So they use it with no thought to the future. Again, we think about money more than we think about consequences. We don't look ahead at our actions. And that's really good if you've got a closed game. But if the game is open-ended and goes forever, we need to worry more about the impacts environmentally and socially than we need to worry about our profits. Worry about profits also, but that's only one part of it. Like you drew the line, we really need to care more about our world, our nation, and our fellow man than we do about a couple extra bucks.
And there's been a lot of scientists, a lot of people care about this. As long as I've been alive, I don't know about you, but as long as I've been alive, we've known that there's been a trash problem. We've known that there's been an air quality problem. And so we've grown up knowing that we've got to do something. And there are people out there that want to help and they want to do good, right? So there's people that are talking about creating mushrooms, certain types of fungi that eat plastics and decay plastics faster. There's scientists out there that have found ways to remove the methane and the carbon from the air.
There are hemp plastics that they could use. There are applications to make hemp into concrete. There are applications to make hemp into clothes, textiles. Hemp was food, clothes, and building material before we decided that it was paper also, before we decided it should be illegal. Again, economic reasons and business decisions instead of what's best for we the people. We really need to stop hiring people or electing people who are only in it to make the quick buck instead of looking at the long-term implications and ramifications of our decisions. Joe Hanush, by the way, I saw him in the background at your barbecue.
Yeah.
Thought I saw his picture. He said Matt is stuck in a work meeting right now and couldn't get out.
Oh, no.
So it's okay. It is okay. We can talk crap all day, and we got memes for ages.
So, yeah, speaking of, let's go. Since Matt's not here, we will do him the courtesy of, because he did not send me any of his website information, Facebook information, or anything like that. I will go ahead and put up what I found. Here's Matt Johnson. This is his Facebook profile. So he is also on the LNC for Region 2. This is his website. He's running for Florida House. Let's see. Do I have anything else? That's all I've got. That's all I could find.
Are you on mattforfloridahouse.com? Is
Yes,
that it?
this is mattforfloridahouse.com.
Yeah.
So
Well, it looks like the standard libertarian platform: economic freedom, education choice, criminal justice reform, individual liberty and civil rights, limited government and economic freedom. That's from his website on where he stands on the issues.
mm-hmm.
Did you have anything really stand out this weekend?
Just the pool party.
Just the pool party?
The pool party.
I'm trying to figure out how much of this stuff I should talk about. Like how powerful is the nuclear weapons, or how powerful is nuclear power? I really believe that nuclear power, regulated properly, is the answer to how to fix what ails us. I really think we should go a lot more nuclear because all of the other stuff has issues. Maybe solar for individuals, put them on the roofs and stuff, but I like the idea of nuclear.
Joe said in regards to Matt, he recently joined me and Josh Halavka for eliminating state gas tax. Great. That's good. That's good. Also, Joe said, I have hundreds of utensil packets I have been getting takeout after not requesting it. Yes. So back to environment. You know the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle, right?
There's reading, writing, and arithmetic, but cool. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
There's a 4th one now. It's very important. It's one that I've been pushing for years now, and I'm glad that kids are actually learning it now too. It's called refuse. Refuse. If I go out to a store and first of all, if I need a bag, if I haven't brought my own bags and it's too much for me to carry in my own hands or in a cart, I'm refusing and I'm getting paper. I get paper. And every time I say something, every time I ask it, I say this: we will never stop using plastic bags until we stop using plastic bags.
I made a bunch of these and been passing them out all over PG County.
Mm-hmm.
So, and these bags rock. So those are mine. And I only got like 3 or 4 of them left. So you can't have one. Those are all mine.
Yeah, bring your own bag. A box works too.
Bring your own bag, bring your own box.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, the package stores have boxes with them. All you're going to do is unbag them. It doesn't make it that much easier to carry. I think a box is simpler.
Yeah, and you know what? Those little plastic bags, they break. They're not that great. Even if I'm a cat owner. I have cats. They have litter boxes. A lot of cat owners are like, but the little bags are great for the, poop, scooping the poop. I'm like, actually, the paper bag's better. The paper bag is better. It holds better. It's more durable. And you got to think, like you said earlier, long game. 300 years from now, we may have jobs where people are separating trash because we've just made it such a big problem that we now have to clean up, right? And the poop in the brown bag is going to dissolve. It's going to disintegrate. It's going to be gone in 100 years. The poop in the plastic bag will stay preserved. It will be there.
The poop in the brown bag goes away instantly. The first rainstorm, the brown bag disintegrates. The poop gets put into the soil, and it becomes nutrients for whatever's going to grow there.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Diapers, disposable diapers, stick around for 700 years. 700 years of dirty diapers.
Did you know that in Vietnam, they potty train their kids by like 6-7 months? And in America, I think it used to be the recommended time to potty train your kid was like 12 to 18 months. And the diaper industry, they lobbied it, so it's 3 years now. That should tell you everything you need to know about our industries. We recommend it take 3 years to potty train a kid so that these people could sell more diapers. That is how the industry works. That is how our government works. And that is how they make decisions based on whatever puts money in their pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And you people keep voting for them. Well, not you. Whoever's watching us are libertarians, or hopefully want to be libertarians. We're not saying our answer is best. We're saying that our answer promotes freedom, and that then you get to decide. And we hope you make the right decision, i.e., refuse. I am starting to refuse plastics. My daughter made me go get another one of those things from Costco, the 3,000 yards of saran wrap, because it's so useful. But we need to get away from all of it. I don't know how else to say it. We are hurting the environment by not having viable public transportation, by not taking care of ourselves better, and by not exploring alternative means of packaging. We are doing damage to our environment every day.
Okay, so we're still got time. I'll share this story with you. I was in Hawaii. If you guys didn't know, I lived in Hawaii for 10 years, and I ran for office out there. And I was sitting at a Thanksgiving dinner at a very prominent libertarian's house. And this is when I kind of was like pulled to the side, like, all right, so we've got a libertarian you. Why plastics, right? So I was sitting there with a lady that owns all the boba teas out in Hawaii. If you know what boba tea is,
Yeah,
it's a
the tea houses.
Yeah, little bubbles and that, right? And we had already outlawed plastic bags in Hawaii, and California had just outlawed the plastic straws. And we were sitting there, and there's like, you got these plastic straws, and I'm just looking at it, and I've got a candle in front of me. I was like, these are next. Hawaii always follows California. These are next. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about, like, how can something so useful, so durable, and last forever be so cheap? And I told her, and I didn't know she was the boba tea lady. I had no idea. And she clapped back. I was like, well, what do you want? People just to wash dishes? And I was thinking, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. Again, it's economic. Personnel costs is a third of any. It's about a third of your business expenses. If you run a business, if you have a organization that you're taking care of, about a third of your expenses is people. Between all the taxes you pay, unemployment tax and healthcare and all the fun stuff, about a third. So every chance they get, they try to get rid of people. And that's why our relationship with money in this nation, in this world, our relationship with money is messed up because we choose money over health. We choose money over the environment. We choose money over educating our children. We choose money over literally everything. And it's short-sighted and it's silly.
So, okay, now we went for the straws, right? We went to the straws, and she's like, oh, you're supposed to wash the dishes? Yeah, okay.
Wash the dishes.
No, but here's what they did instead. This is what they do instead. They work around loopholes. They find, okay, what is combustible and what is something, different materials. And I get that. We should be looking at different materials. But a lot of the, what people are considering, more biodegradable materials are not actually biodegradable. They don't break down. Like some of the bags that they have now that they say are reusable or whatever, they're just a thicker plastic. And that's not necessarily what the people are asking for. That's not what they want. They want a real solution to these huge landfills. They want a real solution to, in the 1800s, we didn't have trash people that come around. We didn't have buckets of trash. Every household had buckets of trash. We did not have that. Could you imagine how much money we could save the taxpayers if we didn't have these huge cans of trash that we all produce every week?
Well, people don't want real solutions. Real solutions involves, composting. Real solutions involve going out to your local community garden, bringing your compost and, helping recycle things. It involves actually being a community. We want things faster. We want things cheaper. We want things easier. And we really more and more don't want to interact.
We want everything individualized.
Yes. So it's, It's hard to get through. It really is, because public transportation is the right answer, but it's hard and it impacts because you're not selling as many cars or getting as much in taxes. Taking Roundup out is the right answer, but that becomes more expensive, and everything's always about expense, and we have to get past our shitty relationship with money before we can fix what ails this nation. We really do. And
so we got some more comments from Joe Hanish. Stop the spray. I am for not spraying poison on state maintained landscaping. Yep, 100%. Then he asked, how do we tie seal the paper bags? You don't need a tie seal them, just roll them down. Grow gardens, not the government. And then how about $20 a month for my household changed by local government?
I don't know what that one was from. Was that from
maybe the trash? Maybe it was when we were talking trash.
Or
speaking of talking trash, I want to share a meme that I found that I thought was really good. And it's just a little salty right here. Great. Now my truck's going to look silly.
I actually wrote a poem.
Okay.
I called it Kamala Chameleon.
Come on, chameleon.
Kamala Chameleon. She come and go. Yeah. I said, loving her be easy, but she throw you in jail for weed. Loving her be easy, but she throw you in jail for weed. Yeah, so it's about how everybody thinks that, I'm not going to do the whole poem. If you want to see it, I'm actually thinking about doing it on stage this week or next week. But
film it and we'll watch it.
Well, I'm wondering about the difference between their policies, because both of them talk about locking folks up for protesting and that they're helping out terrorists and they want you locked up for burning a flag. Both of them want Australian-style gun grabs. Both of them talk about taking your taxes at unprecedented rates, and both of them support Israel, Ukraine, and the drug war. I don't see how they're different. And whenever you bring that up, I kind of get cussed out by folks because you just can't make up your own facts, and I'm actually talking about their words. The left and the right are the same, and nobody gets that, and everybody wants me to. I'm not messing with her about being black. Lady, she's half JA and half Cooley from, Jamaican and Indian from JA. I get it. She's definitely black. She went to Howard, pledged AKA, but she does not represent our best interests, whether that's black people or Americans. She represents more the same, the standard order that things go with. And people go, oh my God, I have to vote for her. No, you don't. If you vote for her, you might as well be voting for Biden. You might as well be voting for Trump, because they will continue business as usual. And holy shit, business as usual is killing America. Pardon me for cussing today. That's my second or third S-bomb. I'm going to keep doing that.
I mean, this is let me show this. The political spectrum, you're taught left versus right. The true political spectrum, we've got the statists, communism, the Republicans and Democrats right here. The Constitution, and then anarchy. Here's another one. The system is broken and it must be fixed. The system is working exactly as intended and must be destroyed.
I love that one, because there's only two possibilities. Either the system is broken, and the way I prove that is all of our money through inflation and taxation are going to the 1%. So either the system is broken and it shouldn't be that way, or the system is designed that way. And Andrew Bustamante, that CIA dude with the big hair, he said that you need lovable, brilliant idiots to just sit there and keep working so that the tax money will keep paying for stuff, and that we need a class of people who will just continue to work and feed the system. Cool. If that's the situation, I dig it. But right now, that system is taking too much and it needs to be destroyed. So either it's broke or it's not. Oh, I love that. I bought a whole bunch of those. They're not worth shit now. Oh, that's my third S-bomb. The silver dollar I carry is worth like 22 of those just in gold and silver value alone. Not even the cost of the coin.
10 of these would buy you an average home in 1920. 10 of these will buy you an average home in 1923.
2023.
Yeah.
It seems like the price of gold is the price of gold is the price of gold.
Mm-hmm.
An ounce of gold will buy you a nice suit. It used to be $35. Now it's $3,000. But it's still an ounce of gold and it's still a nice suit.
Well, we've ad-libbed for a hot minute now. I think it's time for a commercial. You ready for a commercial? Because
I am down for a commercial. Who we show?
No candidate receives over 50%. Then the top two candidates head to a runoff. Now we know this race will head to a runoff.
New focus on the influence of libertarians in Georgia's Senate race. There's another player in the mix.
Voters deserve a chance to have their voices heard, and they shouldn't have to be lumped into one box or the other and have to be shamed into voting into two parties.
These two major parties aren't addressing their pain.
The CBO themselves said the Inflation Reduction Act wouldn't actually reduce inflation. Are you actually reading the bills, or are you just taking Chuck Schumer's word for it when you vote on these things? We obviously need to audit the Fed. Once people get a little bit more education about what the Federal Reserve does, they'll want to see it ended. You know, we claim to be the light of liberty unto the world, and if we seek to hold that mantle, we have to fix our broken immigration system. Big Pharma is subsidized to the tune of billions of dollars a year by our government. The only thing Democrats and Republicans can agree on is how to spend your money out of thin air and devalue our dollar. We need to bring market forces into healthcare that are going to lower the prices. I believe that we need true justice reform at every level, from the police to the courts to the prosecutors. And we need to do away with mandatory minimums. We need to do away with qualified immunity so that law enforcement can be held accountable in a court of law just like any of us. And that's something that I fought for. I've gotten tear gas in the streets while I protest for justice reform. Don't take politicians' advice for your health care. Take your doctor's advice. Why is that the radical idea and not the rational idea? I want to take power out of the hands of government and return it to each and every one of you, because that's where it resides. If not voted was actually on the ballot, they would win nearly every election in this country. Most of the people who vote represent themselves as independent, so it's important that we have voices that are independent of the two parties on stage. I want you to be able to start a small business. I want you to have control over your own body. And I want you to be able to live your life as your authentic self in peace. I'm Chase Oliver, a candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Montani Semper Liberi. Words that ring true in the hearts of every West Virginian. Mountaineers are always free. Free to live, free to be whoever they want to be. Bureaucrats shouldn't tell us how to live our lives, to tax us and waste our money. This November, West Virginia has a better choice for governor. I am Erica Kalenich, and I'm asking for your vote.
I'm going to serve the people.
So speaking of the people, one thing I'm asking from all the candidates is, what do you believe the people of Hawaii can do? Not just in the sense of elections, but in the sense of their community right now and for the future.
They can do whatever they want. The sky is the limit. Their potential is only limited by their imagination and their will. So I think that if I were to say someone to do something as an individual is to follow your heart, follow your dreams, work hard. And maybe that's about politics, or maybe it's not. The message is still the same, though.
Right on.
All right. Aloha.
Aloha. Rabbit Holes is a Manava Cow production. This episode was produced by Kalika Hoke and Sarah Rodriguez. Make sure to subscribe and follow on your favorite podcast platforms to add our weekly episodes to your queue.
I'm an outsider. I'm not a politician. I'm a mechanic by trade. I'm a single father of 3 amazing sons. My oldest is disabled. He'll never be able to do the things that his younger brothers can do. I've struggled, like the many Americans and citizens in our nation, to find a school for him that fits his specific needs. I'm not a millionaire. I don't come from huge money. And the reality is, our education system doesn't provide schools for these specific needs. I've struggled to maintain a full-time job while standing at a bus stop that's late. I've struggled to get to work on time. I've struggled to survive in a system that doesn't represent the working class. I've had to budget finances. I've skipped meals. I've done what every loving parent has had to do and sacrifice to ensure that their children are properly taken care of. And I finally made a choice to run for Congress to make sure that this chaos stops, that every single parent and every family has an opportunity to thrive and succeed, to give us a fighting chance again. I'm Nathaniel Snyder. I'm not a politician. I'm a working class American. I'm a single father. And I'm done watching the political class destroy us. SnyderforFL.com.
I'm honored to be the first Libertarian candidate for president to ever campaign in all 50 states, and I did it before our nomination. This kind of energy sends a clear signal to the old two-party system that we are a 50-state party, and this is a 50-state campaign. Voters deserve a president who doesn't merely focus on a handful of swing states, and the Libertarians will be on the ballot for those voters who want to reject the two-party mediocrity and embrace building a foundation that will last for years to come.
All right, guess what time it is, folks? It's that time for the Chase Oliver campaign update with Miss Amber. Hello, Amber.
Hey, y'all. I got a nosebleed right before I got on here, so I'm not on camera today.
Oh, no.
No one needs to see this. But you'll be so proud of me. I clipped a video for you.
You
Uh-oh.
did. Is it this one?
Mr. Oliver, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate your time. I think a lot of people are looking at their screens right now and they are shocked at how young you are compared to what our options have been. And you have ballot access in multiple states. Does age play a role in part of your messaging and on the campaign trail this year?
Well, I certainly think it does because, I am from the millennial generation, and certainly we have been underrepresented in our politics. Our leadership in Congress and in the White House are much the same leadership that was existing 20 years ago when I was in high school still. So I think it's important for my generation to rise up and have more of a voice in our politics, considering we're the generation that's had to fight the wars for the last 20 years. We're the generation that's had to deal with the 2008 fallout, right as we were getting started the economy and buying our first homes. And we're now the generation that's raising families all over the country as we handle the inflation that's been caused by the spending of both the Trump and Biden administrations. And so I think it's very important for my generation to have a messenger, and I'm glad to be in the political process, not just for my generation, but also for Gen Z, who are rising up and will be the plurality of voters in the next couple of elections.
Was that it?
That was it.
Yay! Yeah, that was on Fox News. So what's been going on with the Chase Oliver campaign? What's going on this week?
We did a lot of media last week. So this week we are going to Fancy Farm in Kentucky. And Chase will have a couple of minutes to address the picnic attendees, but he is going to be the first Libertarian presidential candidate to be able to speak there. I think Gary Johnson was invited, but they didn't do it. So we get to be the first, which is really cool. And then the following week, we have the Iowa State Farm, which was a big thing for us in primaries. So we're really happy to do that again. I get to see all of my coworkers in person. It's going to be great.
Awesome. Yeah, I found some articles too. This one from South Dakota. And this little quote here, Oliver has interesting ideas that we don't hear from the major party candidates. He also explains them better than they usually do. So he's very well spoken. As I moderated the RFK Jr.'s alternative debate a few weeks ago, I kept wishing that Trump, Biden, and Kennedy spoke as clearly and intelligently. Oliver says, your body is your body. Your business is your business. Your property is your property. That lays out libertarian philosophy pretty well. Oliver supports gun rights. As a gay man, he says, I can better protect myself from being bashed if I'm armed. I have a great appreciation for our right to defend ourselves. So that was a good little article there. And then even the Libertarian Party, the LNC, put out something this week too. Join us in chasing liberty. This article is by Matt Hudson, and they announced that Chase Oliver has officially been selected as the Libertarian Party's candidate for president of the United States. And this was July 25th, so 5 days ago they put that out. Thank you for putting that out, LNC.
Yeah,
we appreciate all the collaboration. But we should have a lot of good media coming out of Kentucky this weekend. Chase is doing a couple of radio stations. He did another Reason interview yesterday that went pretty well, so that should probably come out in a couple of days. And I think last week Mike did a couple of podcasts and radio shows. So now both candidates have been on Ask the Politician, which is on a YouTube channel that just runs down their entire policy platform. And then he did Boom, It's on the Blockchain podcast, The Mike Ryan Show, Shut the Punk Up, Monero Talk, and he did an X Space. I'm not totally sure who the X Space was with, though.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm a fan of Shut the Punk Up. I like that show. I like emo music. I like punk music, so it's good stuff.
I do too.
Yay. All right. So next week they're going to be in Kentucky.
Or this weekend. Yeah, this weekend.
Kentucky. Okay. So I hope I get some good pictures from that and some video, hopefully.
Well, I'm going. Our communications director, Kelsey, is going. We are carpooling together. I am bringing the gummy worms. That's an inside joke, but between the two of us, I'm sure we will get plenty of pictures. We just had a low travel couple of weeks, which was probably good. We probably all needed it.
I saw a new t-shirt, and it's by Proud Libertarian. Shout out to Proud Libertarian. He also did my t-shirts, or at least found someone that could rush order them and make them for me. But he's got a new t-shirt on his website that I love. It's a Chase Oliver t-shirt.
I know which one you're talking about.
Do you?
Yes.
You? It's the one that says childless cat moms for Chase Oliver.
Yep, childless cat ladies for Chase Oliver. I immediately purchased. I was like, I need that.
It's super cute too. I wish I had pulled that one up, but I didn't. I'm sorry. But that's a really cute one. So I'm looking forward to that. I saw that his t-shirts about Biden is going to be definitely on sale, kind of like all the Trump stuff. I'll show this meme again because yep, got to get rid of all that Biden crap.
Yep.
This is going to be a good campaign. So I have on my campaign plan, right? It's been on the plan since we even started planning to run, is to have an election night watch party. And that's, somebody popped it up. There we go. There it is.
Hey.
Yes. There's a cute t-shirt. So I'm going to go to a couple that came to the pool party this weekend, John and Susan. They're going to go up to Atlanta for the Chase Oliver presidential campaign watch party, and I want to go too. So I would like some details on that so I would like to go. I would rather be with a big group of people than to, just be sitting in my house watching on TV as the votes come in.
Yeah, it's always better to be among friends.
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be in Atlanta?
We are possibly going to do it in Texas. We're not totally, those plans haven't been finalized. We're just kind of throwing out different things because our original plan was to do it in Tennessee, because that's where Chase is originally from, and it's easy to get people to and from there because it's relatively close. But our venue has been changed, so we're still trying to work out the kinks. But I will let you know as soon as I have something finalized.
Yeah, please do, because I would like to attend. I would like to go. I know in 2020 there was a big election watch party for Jo Jorgensen, and I was working on her text banking campaign. I was helping with that because there gets a point when you're running a race, a local race especially, where there's nothing else you can do. You can't do anything else. Like money coming in, any money coming in at that point, it's not going to anything because you can't produce anything in time to get out to the people. And so there's the pool for money. It's just pool for votes. And if you've already called your entire district, which I did, and texted them, which I did, it's early voting, all the vote mail-in ballots had already been turned in. And so I was like, all right, I can go help Jo Jorgensen. And so because I was doing that, I got like a Zoom invite to their election watch party, which I thought was really cool and really special. So it kind of made me wish I was there. I had that fear of missing out syndrome going on. I was like, I want to go too. So,
yep.
I would like to go to that. I think that would be fun.
Well, we would love to have you.
Yeah, because you think about it, when like there's going to be people from other states in Florida.
Yeah.
Election night.
Yeah.
They're running for office for other states. They're going to be here in Florida with Trump. Same as there'll be candidates wherever Kamala Harris is. Is she from California? Is she from California? Is that where she's going to have?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she might have her election watch party in Washington, D.C. or wherever they have it. The thing is like your top of the ticket kind of hosts the party and people show up to it. People just show up to it. So that's what I want to do. I want to be one of the people that show up.
Well, I like any excuse to go see my libertarian friends in person because I live out in the middle of nowhere and I have maybe 3 or 4 people in my affiliate and they all do different things within the community. So our schedules never line up. And so I feel very alienated. So anytime I can go see my friends, I'm like, all right, we're going to go.
Yeah.
It's really good to be around like-minded individuals because it's exhausting defending your position all the time.
Yes.
I know Chase is well received whenever he goes out on the road. I've seen the crowds react to him. I've seen the applause and his message resonates with me, but I'm a libertarian, so it would. How is he polling? Have you noticed the polling numbers going up or do you have any data on that? I
think we did one poll. We're in a couple of them, we're at 1 to 2%. And then there was one that was 8%.
Okay.
I'll see if I can pull those for next time so we can show y'all, but we're starting to get included in more. So that will go up with time, I'm sure.
Any chance on him getting Secret Service?
Probably not.
And that's a darn shame. Again, the DNC and RNC exclude us from the things that we're supposed to be able to get.
Yeah. And Kennedy was excluded up until the Trump incident a few weeks ago. So Kennedy finally got Secret Service, I think. But we have a really good security person.
Okay.
Very good.
You talking about Tom Pink?
No, Tom's not security. Our new security person is Jax Crowder.
Okay, great.
Secret Service wasn't real helpful for the Don anyway, although it's still my official opinion that was a WWE style razor blade job. Just throwing it out there.
My editor, Sherry, she played Secret Service in DC, so she's sad that her job got taken, but it'll be good. He's good.
All right. Well, Amber, thank you again for coming on, for everything that you're doing for this show and also for the Chase Oliver campaign. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
All righty.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you.
I do have one unfortunate thing I have to say, and this might just be me, but we have a rest in power. My man Chino XL, he was only 50. He's younger than me. And he's gone. Chino XL is a lyricist. He's a rapper, and it hurt my heart when I saw Ice-T say it. So shout out to Chino XL. Big up.
All right. Well, I'm going to cut to another commercial. We'll cut to a Mike Termat commercial. Yay.
This election is not going to be about small things. It's not going to be about some court decision, a particular law, or what to do about some government agency. This election is not going to be about a political candidate. It's not going to be about Donald Trump. It's not going to be about Joe Biden. Nor is this election going to be about me. This election is going to be about you. This election is going to be about your own vision for your own future, and whether that future is going to be driven by your own values or driven by someone else's values. There are people today in control of our government who impose a set of values that are different from yours, different from mine, different from those of most Americans. The values of this political class reflect an interest in power and control. These politicians maintain control by manipulating fear. Political parties have pit American against American, undermining our most cherished relationships, quite literally destroying families. The ever-increasing overreach of government has stripped us of our personhood, our individuality, and far too often, our very purpose. Our once thriving people, our culture, our nation, has been forced into an abusive relationship with a government that has gone absolutely mad with power. I'm Mike Tremont. I'm running for president to end the abuse, to build a new relationship between us and our government, to replace the old abusive relationship with what I call a gold New Deal. In any abusive relationship, it can be difficult to see the signs. Signs like gaslighting, violence, wasted money, infidelity. Hope is not lost if we forge a relationship with our government that is, once again, based on our own values. To live and let live, to allow our fellow Americans to pursue happiness according to their own standards. It's time to stop fighting with each other and start fighting a political class that takes our money and disrespects our values. It's time for a gold New Deal. As president, I will end U.S. involvement in foreign wars and stop sending our money and our young people overseas to fight in wars that profit the elite. A gold New Deal means that I will regain our financial freedom by axing government regulation and spending, by dismantling a Federal Reserve system that undermines our standard of living. A gold New Deal means that I will reverse the weaponization of our justice system, stop abusive law enforcement practices by demanding accountability, and end a hopelessly counterproductive war on drugs. A gold New Deal means that I will put an end to the Orwellian surveillance state that offends our rights, break up the FBI that insults our values, and end the CIA that has caused worldwide embarrassment to us as Americans. I'm Mike Tremont, and all I'm asking is for you to stop putting up with the abuse. To learn more, visit goldnewdeal.org.
I'm Feena Benoan, and I approve this message.
Now, before we go into this deeper, so that way, for those listening on the mainland, they don't understand much of this. And we have quite a few mainland listeners and Kanakas away from home that like to stay interested. And so, if you could break down essentially in as little words as possible for people to understand essentially what the Jones Act does to Hawaii.
Okay, so the Jones Act is over a 100-year-old act that Congress passed. What that essentially does is it secures jobs in California at the price of our cost of living out here in Hawaii. That, in as few words as possible, is what the Jones Act is job security for California. And it's not just California, actually. It's Florida, it's New York, it's any of the big ports that are making it to the point where it's not smart anymore.
Right on. I think that's a really big discussion for people to have. Not many people are aware of it. I personally have a really good friend who tried to make an investment in a food truck business, and because of who he shipped his food truck through to get to Hawaii, the response from the port was, you either got to pay us to send it back or you got to pay us to smash them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like that gets in the way of progress for locals. It really gets in the way of accessibility. So I really appreciate that you're bringing that to the forefront.
The Jones Act out here in Hawaii has been crippling the economy. It increases all the price of goods and services. Even, during COVID, the shortages that we had on toilet paper, we were hurting on toilet paper way longer than the mainland was. It's an old, outdated law. We're in a new economy. We're in a world economy. We don't need the Jones Act.
At least 37 million people have been displaced from their homes because of the United States wars.
A bit of rice is all she has to feed her 12 children.
They destroyed our homes, and now we have nothing.
I'm anti-war to the core, and that means I oppose the warfare state as it exists all over the world, and we need to bring our troops back home.
Every time a bomb drops on an innocent person and their collateral damage, that collateral damage is bought and paid for by your tax dollars in the military-industrial complex, and we need to reject that.
American and coalition forces.
30,000 additional troops.
Precision strikes on targets.
31 Abrams tanks to Ukraine.
I saw friends of mine getting to go sit and fight and die and be injured in wars that we knew were based on lies that our government was telling us. They tried to expand the security state using 9/11 as an excuse. And that's what got me passionate into politics. We have to fight for a peace-based foreign policy. And we've had presidential candidates in the past say things like, we're going to close Gitmo, we're going to end the wars, we're going to stop the drones, and we're going to actually talk to our enemies using diplomacy as a tool. That presidential candidate actually got elected. His name was Barack Obama, and he lied about every single promise he made. And that pushed me out of the two-party system and right into the hands of the Libertarian Party. And I was welcome in because this is the real anti-war party in this country.
I will end wars. I will stop drones. I will close Gitmo, and I will talk to our enemies because diplomacy is better than war.
I'm Chase Oliver, a candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Mike Scott, with your daily reminder, the government is not your friend. Section 9 of the Constitution. The migration or importation of such persons as any of the states now existing shall think proper to admit, shall not be prohibited by the Congress prior to the year 1808. Basically, they codified in our founding document that Congress couldn't stop them from bringing in slaves and couldn't charge them more than $10 per head. Vote Libertarian. To an oppressed people, small government's the closest we get to freedom.
Well, I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm starting to feel like prom night. Starting to feel like prom night all over again. Getting stood up.
It's okay. It is okay. We are solving all the problems of America right here, just the two of us. Imagine if we get in Senate.
Imagine if we get in the Senate. So we were going to have Mr. Andrew Horney, who is running for U.S. Senate out of Indiana, coming on. I hope that he still does make it. We've got 30 minutes left of the show. But I'll go through his website right now. This is his website right here. This is his blog, which he's got a pretty good blog going on. This is Facebook here, Andrew Horning for Liberty. And also he had a pretty good meme on his website too. There's an easy way around this every election day. we're stuck. It's hopeless. We're doomed. Sigh, the Republican Party and Democrat Party warning for Senate.
He's been running since 2002, I think, the first time he ran. Is that right?
Oh, wow.
He ran for Congress, I think. And I believe he's running for Senate this time, yes?
Yeah, running for Senate.
I'm pretty sure he's running for Senate this time.
Now, do you remember at the LP National Convention? This is his book.
Oh, no, I didn't get that one. I got one of the ones from a lady who was teaching me how to turn Democrats into libertarians.
But you remember,
yeah,
I accidentally left it on a table because I was carrying it around with me after I picked it up. And I accidentally left it on the table and you found it for me. And you're like, hey, this is your book. I'm like, yeah, it is my book. Thank you. And he did sign it for me. I always, whenever you have the option to get the author to sign your book, you want to get the author to sign your book. So I've got this one. It's added to my collection of books signed by the author. Also have this one. Oh, goodness. Where's it at? I thought he signed this. Ken Schooling. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This one of my favorites, Adventures of Jonathan the Gullible, signed by Ken Schooling. This is a really great book. If you have children that are maybe in that age where they can read and they're understanding, they still like the pictures. Like, this is a really great, a lot of great pictures in this book. It's still a chapter book. But if you tuned in for my telethon at all, you have seen some of this. I did like a little kind of like Reading Rainbow style version.
Read an excerpt from the book?
Oh, I read the chapters. I've read the first 20 chapters.
Cool. On the telethon?
On the telethon.
Cool.
But I did a Reading Rainbow style where like it was, you saw the page and you saw the hand opening up the books and everything. But he's getting ready to do a cartoon type version of this. Like, he's making it into a cartoon, which is really great. This book has been published in I don't know how many languages. Let's see. It probably tells me in the book. No, it doesn't say specifically. Awards and recognitions. It's received the Excellence in Entrepreneurship Education Award, National Economics Communicators Contest, the Marshall Bruce Envoy Memorial Freedom Award, George Washington Award, the Leonard E. Reed Book Award for Excellence in Economic Education, the Levy Award for Excellence in Private Enterprise and Education, the George Washington Honor Medals, Econ, Education, and Public Communication, the Book of the Month in November 2001 in Brazil, and the Freedom Book of the Month in September 2001 from the Henry Hazlitt Foundation. And gosh, there is just a lot of translations in this book, or translations of this book. I wish it had it specifically. Wait, does it say? 40 different languages, over 40 different languages this book has been made into. So there's some of the other copies.
I've never even heard of it till you said what it was.
Yeah. The Adventures of Jonathan the Gullible. One of my favorite books. You know what? It is my favorite libertarian book. It is my favorite libertarian book because I'm more of the artist side. So whenever you take these complex ideas of libertarianism and you present them to people, a lot of times it's over their head. But if you use art as the communication device to relay your messages in a way that people understand, it goes further.
That's why memes are so powerful.
That's right. That's why memes are so powerful.
No, it really is. It's visual. It's easy to understand, and it pops. Like when you try to tell Republicans they're not like us, that says it a lot better.
Yeah, I saw that one this morning. That was good.
We're not like Democrats either. I steal all my memes, by the way. None of these are mine.
That's from Eskimo Libertarian. Says it right there.
And just like when we're in the grocery store with the kids, when I'm in Senate, I'm going to tell the kids, no, We can't afford it. We don't need it. Don't touch it. Stop asking for stuff. We ain't got it. No, you can't have it. That's what you need. So, because all they do is agree on killing us. And, you know,
I'm going to try to reach out. We're Dad, why do people give up freedom for security? It's called the Hegelian dialect, sweetie. They create a problem. The problem creates a reaction. If there is enough fear and hysteria, people will not only accept the solution that limits their rights, but they will actually beg for it.
Looking at you, Patriot Act. Looking at you, border wall. Looking at you, welfare state. Looking at you, universal basic income. The government creates issues, gives us a really disgustingly expensive solution, and then we beg for it. They did it with alcohol. They made it illegal, then they made it legal, taxed it. Running numbers. It's called the lotto now. They made it legal and taxed it. Playing poker, gambling. Made it legal, taxed it. That's what they do. They make something illegal, then offer to give it back to us as long as Uncle Sam gets a cut. As long as I get to taste my sugar, baby. As long as I get some sugar, bring it back to me. And we keep falling for it. And it takes our rights away. That's why they get to spy on us. So can't wait till we give them a digital dollar. That's really going to curtail our freedom. You think we're in trouble now? Wait.
Well, speaking of dollars, let me throw some more commercials on there. Start out with yours.
Governor Westmore just pardoned 175,000 people for cannabis. That's great. That's a good freaking start. But cannabis is like an Apple store now. You go to a weed store, it's like going to an Apple store. So all those people that were incarcerated, the tax money that they're stealing from us for cannabis should actually go to rehabilitate those folks, give them money back, because anal rape in jail is an old trope and a joke. And those people deserve compensation. They deserve, reparations for being sent to jail for ingesting something voluntarily that people make billions on now. This is an evil country in a lot of ways, and we can fix it. All we have to do is not keep voting Democrat or Republican. So that sounded like really logical. I don't get it. And the reason why everybody yells at me, my auntie yelled at me for bringing up anal rape as a trope, we legitimately sent people to prison where they were in they were basically tortured. They were in prison with other people who were violent towards them. And they're doing it for something people get billions for now. Those people deserve reparations. And if you're going to steal taxes anyway, it may as well go to something that helps people, especially people that we've wronged through short-sighted, stupid policies. So
I'll play another one of yours.
Okay. I'm going to read this one because I think it's important that I get it out. Someone asked why they should vote for me. And I looked at him and I said, okay, this is what I said. I like to preach and I like to teach. And like others, I love the sound of my own voice. But this isn't about me. This isn't about what I believe. I don't care what your politics are. There is only one reason to vote for me. I'm going to tear it all down. I'm only going to tell you the truth. We borrow $100,000 per second. That money is directly transferred to those with assets through taxation and inflation. In other words, the bank owns us. And not only are we not fighting it, we are normalizing our enslavement. Vote libertarian.
What you do with your body should be none of the government's business. Your body is your body. Your property is your property. Your life is your life. Vote libertarian. My friend Chase Oliver is standing for president, and I'm out here running for vice president on the Libertarian Party ticket because we believe that your decisions should be your own. Go for a run if you want. Or not.
I was going to play another commercial. Do you want to talk about what you just said?
Which one? No, I'm good. I really like you just played this commercial right before the break, right after we talked to Amber.
Mike Tremette.
No. It was
Nathaniel Snyder.
Yes, Nathaniel Snyder wrestling. I really like his commercial because he's what we're all about. He's a person that's a regular guy that's tired of the way things are being run. There's no reason to have an elite political class. He's exactly what we need. Someone that is beholden to the people who wants to fix things because he wants to fix things. He will do what's right irrespective of whether or not it makes him money. That's the type of people we need in office. People that'll do what they think is right because they're not doing it for the dollar bill.
So I'd like to go ahead and plug Nathaniel's event that he's got coming up as well. The 2 Arenas, 1 Fighter, the Florida Ride or Die fight that is going to be on October the 11th, on October 11th at St. Pete's Coliseum at 535 4th Avenue North, St. Petersburg, Florida. Doors open at 3:30.
And the important fight is on November 5th.
That's right. That's right.
That's the one we want him to win.
All right, let's do some more commercials. I feel like I haven't played this one in a while.
These incumbents should not be reelected. So if you're going to the election and you don't know one of the candidates and the other one is the incumbent, just vote for the person you don't know. You can't do any worse than the people we have in office right now. I'm a libertarian. I'm willing to support and vote for people who are not libertarians across the board, even liberal Democrats. I'm willing to support them against somebody who's in office. I'm willing to support Republicans against somebody who's in office. I'm willing to support Aloha Aina people against somebody who's in office. And those of you who vote in the 20th Senate District need to step up and vote for Feena Banoan, who's not part of this repressive system. So when you vote for Feena, you're voting, in a sense, for voting for yourself, because you're going to have somebody who's much more interested in you and protecting you than they are in cuddling up to the power that exists in our state. Thank you very much. Vote for Feena Banoan. Vote for something different.
Our war on terror begins with Al-Qaeda, but it does not end there. It will not end until every terrorist group of global reach has been defeated.
30,000 additional troops that I'm announcing tonight will deploy.
American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq.
I ordered the United States Armed Forces to launch precision strikes on targets.
President Trump issued the second veto of his presidency overnight, rejecting a call from Congress to end U.S. involvement in Yemen.
5 days or 5 weeks or 5 months, but it certainly isn't going to last any longer than that.
We thought we had learned this lesson after Vietnam.
The U.S. has spent $6 trillion on wars in the Middle East.
War in preparation for war is a racket serving the special interests.
Major defense stocks added around $20 billion in market cap.
As the major parties become more and more war hungry, libertarians have been sounding the alarm about the dangers of building an unsustainable military empire since its inception.
Foreign policy has nothing to do with national security. It never changes from one administration to the next.
The United States will be sending 31 Abrams tanks to Ukraine.
At least 37 million people have been displaced from their homes because of the United States wars.
I will end wars. I will stop drones. I will close Gitmo, and I will talk to our enemies, because diplomacy is better than war. The only solution the two-party system offers us is at the barrel of a gun. It's with more violence, more war, and more regulation against your rights. Vote Libertarian to oppose these infringements on your rights and your liberty. I'm Chase Oliver, a candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Hey, my name is Mike Scott. I'm the Libertarian Party nominee for Senate for the great state of Maryland. And I have a simple question for you. How much is $2 million? Seriously, real talk. When I was a young man, $2 million was all the money in the world. It would have been life-changing. Hell, even now, $2 million would be life-changing. That is a significant amount of money to most most Americans. When I was in the military, $2 million took on a little bit different, approach. I had $100 million budgets. I had over $1 billion one budget, and I helped build the president's budget, at least the Air Force's portion. So $2 million is a rounding error. Like seriously, $2 million was a rounding error. So it's anywhere from insignificant pocket lint to, oh my God, a universal remote control for the world. You know what I'm saying? $2 million is also about what Angela Alsobrooke raised in the first 3 months of 2024. Yeah, January, February, March. She raised about $2.1 million, raising her total war chest to a little north of 7 million. She's in third place. Larry Hogan Lockdown Larry just out fundraised her. And David Trone, I think, is in first place. I can't even watch YouTube without seeing that cat's videos. He's in first place. And he's put in $18 million of his own money. And I know folks are going to say, oh my God, money is how we figure out who supports you. No, dude. Money means you're either bought and owe a bunch of favors, or you're rich and you're after power for some reason. I'm neither bought nor rich. What I want is smaller government, less taxes, and freedom for America.
Very well said.
It seems logical. I'm just trying to speak logic and hope somebody catches it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, still no word from our second guest. This is going to be an interesting episode. I mean, we're going to get our little spots in, our little words we want to say.
And again, we're supposed to be helping other folks. So, if you make a commitment to show up, you should show up, because we could find somebody else who needs to make the commercials. And that's not saying life doesn't get busy, because Jesus, I know life gets busy, dude. But I just read about something using the June 2024 CPI, Consumer Price Index. The Bureau of Labor Statistics and the Joint Economic Committee said Maryland, the average household in Maryland is paying about $1,200 more per month to purchase the same basket of goods and services as in January of 2021. That's about, the United States in general is about $1,000 to $1,100 a month. And we're about $1,200. So just so everybody knows, yeah, inflation has been kicking us in the butt too out here, and it's probably the same where you are. I keep telling the story. I went to the store, or I went to the sports pub, and I bought a burger and 2 beers. $50. A burger and 2 beers.
Well,
with tax.
Mike, when they print the money and they devalue the dollar, it affects everyone. It affects everyone.
And it's, people don't get it. And that makes this meme like really true, because we've devalued the dollars in the past 111 years since 1913. We've devalued the dollar 97%. 97%. We're on an unsustainable trajectory, and we've already hit hyperinflation. And that's just been the last 4 years. I don't know that we can turn it around unless we go through some severe, austere measures. And that requires Democrats or Republicans not be in Congress, or like, who was the person that did your commercial and said, vote Feena? You know, they're right. Inflation is killing us. And if we don't get them on an anti-incumbent campaign to kick out all the people that are in now who are ruining things, more of the same is coming, and more of the same is objectively horrifying.
No red, no blue, no matter who.
We need a gold rush. Hashtag gold rush. Vote libertarian.
That's right. So I'm gonna play some more commercials. Let's go on to some more commercials. Like, folks, we got enough we've got plenty of commercials to cover the time, but we always need more and new commercials. So if you're a candidate and you have some 2-minute clips, anything that's less than 2 minutes, I'm gonna play it. I'll play it. If you've got, even if it's just like what Mike's been doing, sitting there talking to the phone, I'll play it. It doesn't have to be something like highly produced like what I do. or what Chase Oliver has, it can be just 2 minutes of you spitting it real to the people because that's what they want to hear.
Just
They
get
want
the word out.
Yeah, get the word out.
Just get the word out. Make sense to people, and you will attract your tribe to help you out.
Yeah. So here's another commercial.
A record number of Americans favor a new political party.
57% of Americans still believe a third major political party is necessary.
Voting third party is a wasted vote? Bullshit. This is the establishment's most successful lie in modern politics. America is the only major country with free elections to only have 2 viable options. Not anymore. The Libertarian Party is the fastest growing political party in America and will be on the ballot in all 50 states. And when we talk about winning, we don't just mean winning the White House. There's all kinds of wins you can have in your state if you vote Libertarian today. We can win ballot access that makes it easier for future candidates to run for office. We can win major party status that gives us more attention from the major media.
I think it's a great day to be a Libertarian.
And we could have Libertarians getting elected all over the country in local races. Whenever Libertarian candidates are able to break through the mainstream media blackout, our support grows. In my televised debate with Senator Raphael Warnock, I was able to reach out to millions of voters. Many of them realized that they were Libertarian all along and just didn't know it. Why is that the radical idea, not the rational idea? If you live in a solid blue or a solid red state, voting for Trump or Biden is a wasted vote, and it won't change the outcome. Voting Libertarian is the only way to make your vote truly count. Currently, all the 2 major parties have to do is be slightly less evil than the other side to win. Let's make the statement that we will accept no evil. When someone tells you you're wasting your vote, recognize that they don't care about you. It's a selfish statement. They are saying that your beliefs are worth being represented, that you should silence your voice so theirs can be louder. Vote your conscience, not someone else's politics. Breaking up the duopoly is the only chance for the real radical change needed to give the power back to you, the people. Voting for Chase Oliver for president will contribute to bringing more choices into our political system. A successful third party forces the 2 old parties to think about the issues Americans truly care about. Keep them honest. Show them they must earn your vote. Change begins at the grassroots. I'm Chase Oliver, a candidate for president, and I approve this message.
It takes a lot to get someone to vote for a third party candidate. It takes a lot of work for that. It takes even more convincing and swaying to get someone to volunteer. But by far the biggest obstacle there is as a third party candidate is to get someone to donate and go against the system. So I want to tell folks, whatever ideas you might have about a third party being a spoiler, whatever you think about a third party candidate being your vote wasted, because it's not. We earn our votes. We don't steal them. We earn them. And if you vote for me or you vote for a libertarian, it's because we earned it.
Right on.
All right. Aloha.
Aloha.
This is Mike Scott, Libertarian Party nominee for Senate. We really have to change the question. Right now, folks look at us and they say, you're wasting your vote, you're wasting your vote. Those people literally spend $18 million on a primary to try and get your vote. And then they convince you it doesn't matter. That is the most valuable thing you have. You need to vote, and you need to vote Libertarian to get those people out of office. They are corrupt and they are buying this election. And the same problems happen over and over again. We have to do something different. Swear to God, fellas, ladies, I get it. You love your candidate. No, you don't. But if the system's going to change, we have to change. They've had their chances. Things are getting worse in every major city.
I advocate for everybody's rights all of the time, which means gun rights and freedom of speech all of the time, irregardless. I think that focusing on guns as a violence problem takes it away from what the real issue may be, which is a societal problem. Why do we want to kill each other? Framing a limitation of a freedom or liberty as a way to protect people is a slippery slope, because you slowly start infringing on freedoms and liberties, and you slowly start chipping away at those things until you have nothing left. And that's why it's important to always advocate for all liberties and all freedoms all the time.
I'm Feena Benoan, and I approve this message. Imagine if we had the same enthusiasm for building rockets to go to outer space as we do for rockets with warheads to go to foreign countries. From the moment we knew of our sun's expiration date, our star, we had a moral obligation to our future generations.
T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of SpaceX Dragon, hoisting harmony to the heavens and opening new gateways for international science.
To work together and find a way to escape this peril. It's bigger than one person. It's bigger than a generation. From the moment we knew of our sun's expiration date, our star, we had a moral obligation to our future generations to work together and find a way to escape this peril. This is bigger than one person. It's bigger than one generation. But if we all do what we can, when we can, together, we can save the future of humanity. Yeah. Well, so we are in our last 10 minutes of the show. What do we want to talk about? I can play another commercial. What you want to do?
Shots of tequila. I am getting really depressed with the conversations we keep having. I was sitting Sunday with a guy. We were out at a concert. My son was there, and I just struck up a conversation. He was a bass player for a Jimi Hendrix tribute band. Swear to God, it was hilarious. And I saw him play, and the singer wasn't great. But we were talking, and he kept telling me that we have the system we have, and you have to vote red or blue. And then he agreed with me that that's the problem, but he kept coming back to the system we have. You got to vote red or blue. And he understood the problem. He agreed with my solution. And then he's still afraid not to vote red or blue because he's going to be on the losing side. And I laughed at him and said, if you keep voting red or blue, we're all on the losing side, dude. To see change, be change. You got to change your vote and not worry about everybody else, because all we can do is change our vote. So I guess commercials is what I voted for.
Okay. All right. I'm going to play that the video from the VFW again, because I thought it was cool. I like the beat, and it's the right amount of time. I'm Feena Benoan, and I approve this message. Here for allowing me a moment to speak. I am running for U.S. Senate to represent you, the people of Florida, in the U.S. Congress. And I honestly cannot think of anything better to send the U.S. Senate right now than a libertarian, native-born, Florida veteran, patriotic woman to serve in the U.S. Senate, someone that's going to put the people's priorities ahead of any political party's needs. A little bit about me. I was born here in Florida, in Sarasota. I've got a lot of family that was born and raised here in Florida. And I spent 10 years in the Navy. In those years, I was a computer computer programmer for the weapons system. I was also a community relations coordinator. I've been around the world. And you know what I see? I see the same problems everywhere. I see that there's good people, that they want to help, and they want to do good. They want to help. But the way that they're going about it, you're missing the most precious part of our country, of our future, and that's our children. So I've been working my entire life to run for office, to serve the people. I grew up very poor. My mother was a waitress. She made $2.13 an hour. And she was denied food stamps. With 3 kids, single mother, denied food stamps because she smoked marijuana. That's a problem. That's punishing our children. I also watch the injustices of the criminal justice system as they punish the poor and force them into and coerce them into plea bargaining system. And folks, I'm a libertarian, so I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. And I understand the purpose of our Constitution, of our Congress, of our government is the criminal justice system. And I hear so many of you folks over here that are very passionate about your community and the criminal justice system. I do have experience in that in addition to watching it firsthand from my family. I was also a prison guard in the military, where I watched people plead their lives away to avoid a more heinous punishment, and that's wrong. And we also see all the time in the news where someone gets off on a plea bargain that should be in jail. They should be in jail, and they're not. They get probation. You got someone that has done physical violence to someone, you're gonna see them at the grocery store next week. That is wrong, my friend. That is wrong. Innocent people and victims deserve retribution, and criminals deserve punishment. Now, what does it mean to have a libertarian in office? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means prosperity. Because we believe in free and open markets. We believe in maximum freedom and limited government. We believe in the least amount of taxation possible. In fact, we're the only party that still says taxation is theft. I want to share with you one final thought. It's a mantra from my campaign that I've been using. Imagine. Imagine if we had the same enthusiasm for building rockets to go to outer space as we do for rockets with warheads on them to send to foreign countries. From the moment we first learned of our sun's demise, our star, we had a moral obligation to our future generations to work together to find a way to escape this peril. And it's bigger than one person. It's bigger than one generation. It's going to take a long time. But if we all do what we can, when we can, together, we can save the future of humanity. Once again, my name is Feena and I am running for U.S. Senate. Thank you. All right, folks. So that's we're getting to the end of our show finally. Yay! Next week we will have James Wiley from Colorado, and we will also have Miguel El Skipper Quinero from Miami-Dade County Mayor, who's running. He's running for Miami-Dade County Mayor, and James Wiley is running for Colorado U.S. House District 3. And we're going to be talking about the thing that goes best with politics, religion. Yay. We're going to be talking about religion, how it affects and shapes our political paradigm. And Mike, you are muted.
I knew I was going to hit bingo. Do you think it's really religion, though, that I mean, I think it might be people who think they're religious, but they aren't necessarily following the teachings of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? the religious right, I'm not sure if they're really religious, because I don't see a lot of.
I saw another meme, and I don't want to go fishing for it now at the end of the show, that because you touched on it a little bit. It was one of, it had a picture of the Olympics opening and a picture of the video that we played last week about the cop murdering the woman in her own home, and it said that if you have more of a problem with the Olympics opening and nothing about this woman who was murdered in her own home, then we need to have a talk about Jesus. We need to have a talk about Jesus. And
the man said, love thy enemy, love thy neighbor like you love thyself. He just basically said the answer is love. I don't know why everybody is, swears up and down they're following his tenets and his teachings, and all we're doing is fighting, arguing, and killing.
Yeah.
I mean,
for keeping up, and thanks for being libertarian, voting libertarian, and we will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Vote libertarian, y'all.